I'm often being asked, how can I improve my vocabulary? To that, my answer was simple. Watch this video till the end, of course. Welcome to this video series about essential vocabularies for TOEIC test. My name is Jimmy, and as part of my job, I've been teaching TOEIC to corporate employees for the past 1.5 years. In this video series, you will find some action words, some object names, and some location words that are essential for TOEIC test. So I've compiled a list which is commonly found in the test, and actually it's a bit weird talking to the camera, but I think at this point in time this is a skill that we cannot get away with. We need to know how to talk to the camera. So it's a bit weird talking to the camera at first, but I'm trying my best to build content that's useful and that you can use at your own convenience. Without wasting much time, let's dive in, get started with the action words. If you're ready, let's start. I will put up the images on the right hand side of the screen so you can have a look at the pictures. If you don't know the meaning of the words, it's self-explanatory. So let's start. So consider parking first. Parking, if it's a car, it's called parking. If it's a dock, if it's a boat, it's called docking. If it's a plane, it's called landing. Next up, we have workplace. So if you want to call someone, it's called dialing. When you search something on the internet, it's called browsing or surfing. And if you want to give some orders to your subordinates, it's called ordering. And then when you photocopy, it's called photocopying. When you place some files in the folder, it's called filing. And then when you put something together, it's called assembling. And then another one is called processing. So when you put something on the shelf, it's called stowing. When you put something somewhere in the room, it's called storing. And then there is loading, and then there is unloading. Projecting is also forecasting. Projecting is also forecasting. And then there is announcing, there's gathering, addressing, attending, conversation, conversing, lecturing, defending, instructing, accompanying, distributing. Okay, when you are traveling, then you have dragging and pushing and boarding a plane. And then when we have cleaning, so there are different kinds of cleaning. Okay, mopping, sweeping, vacuuming, wiping, scrubbing, rinsing, dusting. Okay, and then when you're working in the garden, we have gardening, watering, sprinkling, or we can also say the sprinkling of salt on your food. And then when it comes to repairs, so it's fixing, mounting a TV on the wall, installing, and leaning, and then bending, and then pointing. Okay, position, lying, gazing, crawling, sprinting, climbing, surfing, mounting, or riding, and placing. So when this comes to cutting, there are different kinds of vocab that you can use: slicing, chopping, swinging, dicing. Okay, this is in the kitchen now. Stirring, peeling, filling, pouring. Okay, regarding food, so if something you buy from the vending machine, it's called dispensing or vending, ordering, and feeding. So up next is some object names. Probably you are familiar with this one, and I just want to know if you know it. So first one is called cord, padlock, photocopier, rack, partition, cubicle, lamppost, signpost. And we have a footpath. It's often called as a footpath or a pavement or a sidewalk. And it's on the water. It's called a boardwalk. And then on the streets we have railing, a ramp, a trail, an aisle. It's not a aisle, probably it's aisle. And then on the street we also have car park, parking lot, asphalt, tarmac. And then regarding the people, so we have, okay, if it's the people on the street, it's called pedestrian. If it's a large gathering of people, it's called a crowd. And if there are people watching a show, it's called an audience. And customers are also called as patrons. Okay, and then if you're renting a house, it's called a landlord. And the person who's renting is called a tenant. And then we we have the receptionist and the concierge and traffic warden. In the hallway inside the house, we have hall, corridor or hallway, and we have balcony, veranda, patio, deck, courtyard, bus stand, bus stop, platform, terminal. So this is in the shopping area. So we have cart, trolley, wheelbarrow, side truck. Okay, so the stroller, luggage, wheelchair, building cart. Okay, and in the kitchen we have countertop, apron, we have a jug, we have a melon, we have a cup, we have a glass. And then in the garden we have a recliner, we have a bench, we have a canopy, and then fence, lawn, sprinkler, hose. So hose, if it is used in a garden, it's called a garden hose. If it is used in a fire, it's called a fire hose. Okay, it's a fountain, it's a well, and in the ocean, it's harbor, or is it port, and it's a dock. Okay, and then there are different kinds of boats that you can see in the pictures. So it's called a raft, or a canoe, or a kayak, or a yacht. So these are some of the words, object names that are familiar, they are very common in the photo. So in the final section we have location words. So we have above, we have below, we have behind and in front, upstairs, downstairs, top, up top. Top is like on top of the ladder. If you're in the middle of somewhere, it's called on top. And the bottom we have underground, we have beneath, underneath, cross and over. We have against the wall, leaning against the wall. We have astride a horse, astride a motorbike. Okay, among, on board, in between. Okay, onto, into, along, beside, through, towards, throughout, overhead, upside down, adjacent or side by side is like side by side. And then if it's like this, it's opposite. Okay, we have float, we have sink. Floating is also called a float. Hang and dangle. And we have outback. Outback, I think, is in Australia. It's the Australian outback. And then beyond. So these are some of the words for location. I'm sure you are going to remember all this one. If you can remember, try to remember all this. This will be very useful when you answer photograph sections. If you enjoyed this video, please don't be afraid to give me one of these. And then you can share it to your friends, and then you can subscribe. Thank you for joining this. I'm sure you're going to rock TOEIC test.